Everybody, what is going on? The catch. Fam, hope everyone out there is doing phenomenal tonight. Hope you guys are looking forward to a great Memorial Day weekend. And of course, I hope you guys are ready for another way too early 2024 fantasy football mock draft. We're running a full PPR mock, one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, one tight end, two flex, five bench spot format tonight with you guys with the catch fam course. And we're not going to waste any time. The draft is full. You guys want to start? And we've got Pete in the house and Pete on the clock at 1.1. So let's get right into it.
All right, I'm not going to do anything crazy. Thought about, maybe going a little aggro, but I'll play it safe at 1.1 tonight.
It's like really tough to not. So last stream, I had the 1.1, and it's like, yeah, part of you wants to take a wide receiver there, and then you're like, no, I'll just go CMC. So I get it. But here we are. Last stream, I ended up going hero running back because I had the 1.1. So tonight at the 1.10, no idea what I want to do, but I'm going to figure it out. So in terms of fantasy news, we've got more kind of speculation around the Brandon Ayuk situation and the T. Higgins situation, but it's literally just like speculation because who knows what's going to happen there. So other than that, there's literally like nothing going on. So
yeah, everybody's taking the weekend off. It's Memorial Day weekend, like you said. Everyone's chilling.
Gosh, who do I want here? This is a really weird spot. Like Jahmyr Gibbs off the board makes it not as interesting because Gibbs makes it tough for me there. And now it's between AJ Brown and Puka Nacua. I mean, you can't really go wrong here.
Or it could go wrong.
Sure, I mean, this is fantasy. I'm gonna go with Puka. I don't really know why. I mean, I love both. But I'll just go with Puka.
Well, I heard Kenny Pickett's outplaying Jalen Hurts right now at minicamp. So,
I mean, now that is some good off-season chatter.
That's what I heard. I just heard Kenny Pickett slinging it. Jalen Hurts looks like he's been, shooting endorsements in the offseason or something.
Kenny Pickett is such a disappointment.
I don't know why people are high on him. Like, I was not high on him at all 2 years ago when he came out. I did not have a first-round grade on him. He was a sixth-year senior who started one season. Okay. It's like, that guy's 50.
There's like no other quarterbacks in that draft.
Yeah, he was the only quarterback in the first round of that draft. That was a horrible quarterback draft. Kind of like the one we have coming up next year.
I honestly, like, long-term thought Kenny Pickett was going to be okay. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he looked good after his rookie. Like, he looked like, okay, this is like a stable franchise-level quarterback. He'll be in that Andy Dalton range. And that's all Pittsburgh really needs because they're going to build, defense and a run game around him. And you don't need to do anything special. But nope. Goodbye.
Okay, enough Kenny Pickett talk. But what's going on, Spencer? Good to see you, bro. Look at you, 21 months of membership on the channel. What a beast. I usually am mean to Spencer, but tonight will be nice. He had nearly 2 years. Crazy. Time has flown. Good to see you, Spence. Hope you are well. What's up, Tommy? Good to see you tonight. I've only done a few mocks so far. Rusty. I mean, it's okay to be rusty this time of year. I mean, it's not even June yet, but we're just getting back into it as well. So, we're a little rusty as well. But point is to get the rust off now before August gets here. So I go with Kyron at the 2.3. And I think what I'm going to do tonight is kind of balance between the wide receiver and running back position and then just kind of see what happens at quarterback and tight end. and see what type of roster we can throw together. But I almost went double wide receiver there. Almost took Drake London over Kyron, but I want to see what we can do here. I haven't done
They're
it.
dysfunctional in Atlanta. Dysfunctional. It's going to be a disaster.
I'm on the London train this year, but I don't really like him at his ADP. I still think he's going
It's
a little bit too
it's
high.
it's funny how it feels like it's gone down since they drafted Michael Penix. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the buzz on Atlanta was a lot higher when they didn't do what they did in the draft. When it was just like, all right,
Well,
Cousins going to step in and
yeah, I
la di
mean,
da.
you just imagine that they drafted like an offensive playmaker who was not a quarterback or like a stud defensive player, or they traded back and got a wide receiver later on or something like that. Like then all the buzz would still be there. So uh, you're probably right about that. But I don't know. I still I think I like the Falcons offense this year more than you do. But I think here also you are a Kirk Cousins hater.
I mean, he's a 40-year-old man coming off an Achilles, and he's been known to get a little, little offended by things. And the Michael Penix, I can't think of a bigger middle finger to a guy than drafted Michael Penix at the 8th pick.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the main argument you can make, like for the Falcons actually drafting Michael Penix is the fact that Cousins is old and coming off a major injury, right? So we'll see, but I think that's going to be one of the biggest offseason hype trains, if not the biggest, going into next year in terms of like fantasy players. So, all right, let's see here. John, quit being a baby, trade me. I'm not trading with you, Spence. No, that's my final answer. Drake London never Kyron Williams is an absolute no-go. He did the right thing. Thank you. There we go. It's answered. Mr. Freeman, we are stuck on your pick for some reason. Oh, never mind. There it goes.
It was.
It was a weird lag. Sometimes it'll like lock because I have it where like I think auto pick is off, but I don't know. Sleeper can be weird sometimes. Wow, Isaiah check with the 3-8. Must have watched the short today.
Gas it up. That's a little too gassy, I think, on Pacheco.
I'm all for it, but I also don't like it because I want him to slide back in drafts a little bit. Ooh, this is an interesting pick here. Okay, I want to go running back here just because Rachaad White and James Cook are on the board, and they probably won't be there at the 4.3. And
they might have been. They might have been with Barkley and Taylor. Also,
that's fair. I'm just not taking the risk.
No risk adverse. Should have took Josh Allen there. Should have took Josh Allen.
I just don't think
we know you're never taking a quarterback before round 10.
I know. Currently, I am on the clock in our dynasty. No, wait, no, I'm not. Am I? Oh, no, never mind. I got the notification that I was on the clock for this draft on my phone. I thought I was talking about the dynasty rookie draft that's going on. All right, into the 4th we go, moving quickly tonight. So there goes Kupp at the top of the 4th. I kind of like that value for Cooper Kupp right there. How do you feel about the Rams offense?
I think the Rams are going to be good this year. Obviously, is Stafford health? If Stafford can stay healthy, to be okay. Everything kind of revolves around Kyron and Puka. A lot of Kyron, some Puka. Then Kupp's kind of the odd man out. It feels like in that offense, but they're gonna have to score more. I think the defense is young, but they don't have Aaron Donald in the middle anymore, so they might have to put up some more points.
Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine they'll be any worse than last year, And I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like when Cup did play last year, he wasn't bad. He just had like this stretch week 7 through week 12 where he wasn't particularly good. And outside of that, he gave you double digits every single week that he played, and then played week 18 because they'd already clinched a playoff spot. So I think Cup at the top of the fourth is a really good value, though. But Puka is a guy you're going to be paying a premium for. He obviously just had a ridiculous season last year. So Puka Nakua last year, single-digit fantasy points just 4 times.
Jeez, you got the whole crowd going on back there, don't you?
Let me see if I can close my window.
I don't know, man. Sounds like the whole brigade's out there. Are they coming for you?
What
The
happened?
the FBI's coming for you.
I hope not. I couldn't tell how loud it was for you guys.
Oh,
All right, well, let's move along from the Rams then. Vincent. What's up, Vince? Gibbs in the first round is a bust. Interesting. Should be a third rounder. Monty only 26 years young.
no shot. No shot. No shot. We saw the Lions offense down the stretch last year. It's going to run through Gibbs.
So I do think that Monty's going to still be involved, but I do agree that Gibbs is the RB1 here. And I mean, I still am a fan of Monty where he's going in mock drafts. But yeah, I don't know if I consider him a bust necessarily. All right, let's see.
26 is also like 50 in running back years.
That might be true.
How old's Todd Gurley? I think Todd Gurley's 28
Jeez.
currently. Let's see.
I
He's
feel like
29. He's 29, Todd Gurley. He ain't played in 4 years.
I feel like we're not allowed to mention Todd Gurley. It's too sad. I was really hoping that Christian Kirk would fall all the way to the 5'10".
Too much gas on him. Too much gas.
I also wanted Devonta Smith at the 4-3, so got sniped there. Took the upside with Tank Dell. But now I'm not quite sure what I want to do. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Unless Kuda takes him. What's up, Kuda, if you're out there? Good to see you, bro. Vincent loves the Rams offense. Jado's also celebrating 21 months of membership. 21. Can he do something for me? There's my there's my gift to you, Jados. Gibbs from a production standpoint was much more efficient than Monty. I'm going to take DeAndre Swift here. Very
there
happy.
You go.
Very happy. Got to take my guy. Swift as an RB3 makes me very happy, though.
Yeah, that's a good RB3 right there.
Little light at wide receiver so far tonight. What are you up to over there? C-Mac, Jacobs, Evans, Allen, and Mandrews. You like going tight end, like kind of the 5th-ish round or so.
Yeah, because they fall. I think there's good value there, especially since in this spot, like I really have to kind of project out who's going to be there and what's going to be there. Like I didn't feel super comfortable going with any of the run like Swift there. I looked at Christian Kirk possibly, but it was kind of like or Cooper, but I was kind of like it feels a little high for me. I'm okay with this.
Nice. I'm not against it. Amari Cooper is really interesting to me, though. Top 20 last season. Didn't play in 2 games. It just is. I feel like the Browns' offense is like in such a weird place going into next year because they're already in like a weird place last year, looking at like getting Deshaun Watson,
Deshaun Watson can't run their offense, or what their offense
right,
used to be was the problem.
right. And then we didn't even get him, like, because he was hurt all year, and we barely saw any starts out of him. Where the previous year we got like what, like 5 or 6 starts out of him, and they were like,
Yeah.
eh. So hold on, let me make this selection.
Kyle Pitts.
I'm not gonna cut Pitts. I'm gonna keep drafting Rashee Rice, and people are gonna hate me for it. But yeah, Amari Cooper, from a production standpoint, like the production is there, and it's like, are you really worried about Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore? Maybe. I mean, like there's talent there, but both kind of questionable guys. And then, I mean, David Njoku perfectly fine at the tight end position, but those really big performances we got out of Njoku last year, for the most part, came when Joe Flacco was the quarterback for the Browns. And I mean, this is Deshaun Watson, so I don't know. I like the value of Cooper in the 5th. I mean, there's other guys in that area that I probably like more, but I don't know. I feel like Cooper is pretty good value, but Christian Kirk's still my guy right there. So I just realized that Michael's who's took Christian Kirk from me, so it's okay, Mike. J-Dub's not a fan of Swift. Yeah, dude, you gotta start believing you're a Bears fan. That's all I have to say. It's Swifty season all over again. Yeah, so Rashee Rice, we talked about this last stream. I really feel like he's going to get a light suspension and then be pretty productive once he's back from suspension. So, I mean, just think about where Rashee Rice would be going in mocks right now if he wasn't facing a suspension. And obviously he is facing a suspension. So, I mean, I think he'd be going right in that area, like where arguably like Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore is going, maybe a little bit after, maybe like Pittman, Debo area. But at worst, like a 4th rounder, So getting him like 6th round or so, I think is a steal. You just gonna have to be prepared for him to sit out for a couple games. Vincent says I drafted Puka 17.9 in startup dynasty last year. So I got Puka in one dynasty startup last year, and it does feel very good for sure. All right, so Pete takes Ridley to end the 6th, and we'll fire up the 7th round here with Rome Odunze.
One of those Bears wide receivers is going to work. One of them will work.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the Bears and the Texans. Like
I got double sniped right there, so I'm not ecstatic. I was going Connor and or Pollard. I got double sniped.
Oh, okay.
So we had to adjust. The running backs in this tier are just garbage. Garbage tier of running backs right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't disagree.
It's way too early for these. Like, I like some of these guys, but it's just way, way, way too early for them.
Do you or do you not hate Raheem Mostert next year?
He's 50. We talked about old running backs. I think he's 33 next year.
Yeah.
He kind of fell off late, and he was really just their short yardage touchdown guy. I don't know. I hate this Dolphins offense. I really hate it. I hate what they feel like they have no identity. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback. They just kind of, yeah.
I like taking Mostert in this range. Like, I like him more than Zamir White and Javonte Williams. Is that crazy?
No, I mean, it depends. Like, A-Chain gets hurt, Mostert gets the touchdowns. I feel like they have to I think they're going to and have to completely change their philosophy, because what they do, you can run up scores, throw up 70 burgers in September, and then you're scoring 0 points a game come December and January. So they kind of have to figure out how to actually run a real offense.
Yeah, no
Not
balance.
this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the Dolphins are set up for a failure. Don't have Tua, no contract talks. Tua feels kind of like an emotional quarterback, like that Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott dude. I don't know. Dolphins, Cowboys are my two like teams that people think are going to be good and could just be a blow up situation.
I also think the Bills are in a really weird spot.
I think they're going to score a lot though. The Bills. I think they'll put up a ton of points and have no defense.
I worry about the Bills. But I also don't because like Josh Allen is still super talented. I still really like James Cook and I really like Dalton Kincaid. So I guess I worry about their wide receiver roster, but it's
Keon Coleman seems to be like that dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just crushing every interview and press conference he gives. He seems like the kind of guy who does not, care about anything. He's got this. I don't know. I like it. I've been getting sold more on like, oh, that's going to be a number one wide receiver for the Bills. And obviously, they're just going to be run first. They've actually, they figured out the run game. Like you said, you be run first. You run Josh Allen, you run James Cook, and then you throw to the tight end and you throw a jump ball to Keon Coleman and he wins it.
This is fair. I always get shaky about like later-ish rookie wide receivers who have to step into that number one role, but I do agree. He's killing
Well,
it.
maybe he doesn't. Maybe they kind of
Maybe he doesn't
prioritize like a Shakir, like they prioritize that slot role kind of
Curtis Samuel,
speedster guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just kind of say, "Hey, go out there. They're not going to put their best quarter on you, and we'll just throw it up."
This is fair.
Let's see.
All right, I feel better about the Bills now. I take that back.
The schedule's not great. The schedule's really soft down the stretch. Like the schedule is soft down the stretch.
It is just a weird division right now because it's like if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, then I don't know, that Jets team.
The Jets should win the division if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy.
Yeah, I mean they still look great on paper. And then the Bills are just like it feels like they're in a weird spot. Then Miami is like super volatile. The Patriots are probably gonna suck.
The Patriots defense probably going to be good. That offense, yeah, it's going to be It's going to be a problem.
Kat says the thing that keeps me on in Joku is they changed the offense, giving more first reads towards the end of the year, regardless of quarterback play. Yeah, I'm not necessarily off him,
but it does matter. The quarterback, like Deshaun Watson, can't read a defense. If he does any sort of play action, any sort of movement, he can't read a defense.
Yeah, he looks so shaky, and now it's like
actually
like two like super inconsistent years. I wish the Bears would trade Khalil Herbert for dynasty purposes. Don't we all? Don't we all have like 3 or 4 players we wish we could trade it for dynasty concerns? Here's a good question-ish thing by J-Dubs. I'm a bit concerned about Addison this year. Pete, our Vikings insider, how do you feel about Addison? Because he seems to be a guy that I keep passing on in mocks who I actually really like, but I'm also concerned about as well.
I think the offense is going to actually be okay. Like everyone seems to like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold seems to be a good quarterback these days. I don't know. He finished strong down the stretch in Carolina 2 years ago. I mean, he got Baker Mayfield benched, and we saw Baker Mayfield last year. Kyle Shanahan loves him. KOC loves him. I think it's going to be okay. It's not like they're going to run the ball. They don't have much of a run game. They're going to throw the ball. Now, is he going to be the wide receiver one? I don't know. I've heard Jefferson's getting traded and he's signing a $1,800 million contract. And so I don't know. I have no idea what the wide receiver room's going to look like. But if he's the number 2 wide receiver, it's a problem. Like he's still going to be a problem for people. Like he is a number 1 receiver caliber and he's playing number 2.
Yeah, and I mean, they have to throw the ball, like not even because they have no running backs, but because that's what Kevin O'Connell's offense is, right? So I think
Now
Addison.
maybe we could be
Yeah,
like short and like maybe we put in a lot more short yardage stuff. So Addison doesn't have the big home runs, but maybe he catches a lot more bubble screens or stuff like that.
sure. Yeah, I think he's a guy I'll be warming up to and be drafting a bit more, just because like I feel like he's a really good value, like mid end round 6 rounder, and a player that I really loved going into last season. So um, yeah, if you feel good about it, I think I will probably end up feeling good about it too. Was Swift not the worst signing in free agency? Oh my gosh. Miles
Eagles,
Sanders all over again.
Eagles running backs.
I mean, this might be a fair point that they both left the Eagles, but Swift was good before he was with the Eagles. He just didn't
Couldn't
get
stay
consistent
healthy.
playing time. Was hurt. And I think the difference is I believe in the Bears' offense. I didn't really believe in Carolina's offense last year. So, but there are some parallels, right? Rookie quarterback Carolina last year, rookie quarterback in Chicago this year, but a lot more playmakers for the Chicago Bears.
The
But
offensive line is also not a complete train wreck in Chicago. It's not, it's probably about average, maybe
sure.
slightly below average, but Carolina was just I felt bad for Bryce Young last year. His O line was horrendous.
Very bad. I mean, there are points where it was like you said, you just felt bad watching it. But I'm sticking on my Swift train for better or for worse. Rasheed Rice, wasted draft pick, high probability gets in trouble again. He better not. If he does get in trouble again, they should literally just cut
Well,
him.
he did. Didn't he get like thrown
It
out
got
of a bar?
dropped.
Like, yeah, he like punched somebody.
It got dropped. So like it's okay. He's still a good value where he's going. All right, what do I want to do with this pick? There's actually a couple guys I really like here. In my oh, I see my thing lagged and I got auto picked, but that's okay. Not who I would have drafted, but I will keep Brock Bowers for an experiment.
That was, yeah, he's not.
It's been I don't know why, but Sleeper's been a bit laggy for me tonight. I don't know for you guys, but if I was going to go tight end there, it definitely would have been David Njoku. But I was actually eyeing Romeo Dobbs. He goes off the board to Spence. But that is okay. Tank Dell was my Diamond and Dynasty startup last year. Most of your rookies you drafted last year, Tommy, you hit on. So Tank Dell being one of them for sure. Swift was a luxury pickup at best. We might actually try to do a 3 RB attack until someone stands out. Now, this I think could be a fair point. I could see the Bears doing this because you do have 3 talented running backs on this team for sure, between Swift, Herbert, and Roschon Johnson. But Swift's the best, so he will stand out. It's the way I look at it. Here's an interesting one. Deontay Johnson going to win leagues this year. So I actually really do like Deontay Johnson. It goes at the 7.4 tonight. I think in PPR formats is an absolute steal. Wide receiver 1 for the Carolina Panthers. He's going to get peppered in targets. There's nobody else on this roster that really stands out to me at the wide receiver position. I mean, obviously, like we do have some other names here, but I'm not worried about Adam Thielen, who's getting older, age 33. Did have a good season last year for the most part, although he kind of fell off late round or late portion of the season. And outside of that, I'm not worried about Jonathan Mingo or Terrace Marshall at this point. Obviously, they went out and drafted a wide receiver as well, and they drafted tight end and Jatavian Sanders as well. But Xavier Leggett is okay prospect, I guess, unique prospect, but just doesn't worry me as like a true wide receiver one when there's a guy like Deontay Johnson already on this team. So I really like Johnson. You know, once again, we just talked about this Carolina Panthers offense being awful last year. I'm not expecting it to be good by any stretch, but if there is a wide receiver on this team who can get peppered with targets and make the most out of them in the PPR format, it's definitely Deontay Johnson to me. So there's my Deontay Johnson spiel. Other than that, I don't think I drafted a single Carolina Panther.
It can't be worse. Can't be any worse than last year.
Probably not. Man, how let's ask this question, Pete. How do you feel about Brock Bowers? Fantasy standpoint.
I like not good. I think the Raiders are going to be bad. Like,
yeah,
maybe. I mean, who the hell's playing quarterback? Is it going to be Is it Minshew? Is it?
I think it's going to be O'Connell.
It's just
but
like,
it doesn't matter.
I don't know. They have all the rah emotion. Antonio Pierce head coach. I'm not a believer in any of that. Not at all. That stuff works for stretches. It doesn't work for seasons. They don't know what to do. They have 2 tight ends now. Like, they're gonna run double tight sets. They don't have a running back. You know, they have my favorite running back in the world. Congratulations. I just think it's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah, and I think the really interesting thing too is Michael Mayer is still on this team. Like, so you've basically taken the top tight end 2 years in a row. Although, like with Bowers on the board, like much
trade the pick. Like, try and trade the pick. I just don't understand that.
So I feel like kind of weird about Bowers from a fantasy perspective. I do. But I have him tonight. I got the auto pick tonight. So all right, I hate this right now in redraft formats. I really don't like the last 2 rounds, which usually, like, this is the time of year where you want to like kind of go hunting and start to identify some guys that you do like. So I'll just take Cole Kmet. So I have a tight end behind Bowers. I could take another quarterback, maybe Tua or Goff, Herbert, T-Law, Captain Kirk. Wide receivers, there are some rookie wide receivers late rounds sitting around that I like. Ricky Pearsall, who just went off the board, is one of them. Like in redraft, I'd take a dart throw on Pearsall for sure. I kind of like Troy Franklin, but I feel like in redraft, I want to see that develop before I'm doing anything crazy. And Roman Wilson, another name that I like. And then I don't know. There's a lot of there's some smoke starting to heat up about Malachi Corley. Aaron Rodgers said something positive about him, so now everyone's freaking out. But I do really like Jermaine Burton as well, the Cincinnati Bengals. He's a guy in redraft. I think Burton and Pearsall are the 2 guys in redraft I'd take a dart throw on late round. But maybe Franklin. I'm starting to like Troy Franklin a lot more too.
Yeah, I think it's too early before you. Like,
sure.
You need to like see camp, and then you can start really honing in on like these are the dart throw guys that where you're gonna outsmart everybody. Now, if you're playing in a catch league, you're not really gonna outfox anybody on a late round guy. But if you're playing in a home league, yeah, you could maybe find a couple of steals there that the casuals aren't gonna be all in on.
This is fair. Yeah, the catch fam community, we need to relax a little bit. Let the sleepers be. Share them a little bit. All right, J-Dub says, are we going back to the Christian Watson well this year? Green Bay definitely doesn't have an alpha yet. Maybe at the right value. I mean, I've drafted a little bit of Christian Watson, and I still like Watson. You know, when Watson like was healthy last year and got going, I mean, coincidentally, right when I had like dropped him in the one league I had him because he'd just been hurt and awful all year. He started to completely pop off, and then he got hurt again. So it's like there's nothing wrong with Christian Watson as a player. It's just his ability to stay healthy. And I don't even think he's a true number one wide receiver. He's more of a stretch the field, big play type of guy. I think Jaden Reed's going to be the guy that you see drafted most aggressively. But I think Romeo Dobbs is based on ADP, the Packers wide receiver that I want to draft the most of right now. That's the red zone target for Jordan Love. The chemistry is there. He's going in the 10th round. I'm probably going after Romeo Dobbs, but I read something about the Watson injury. It's like something about the muscle in whichever hamstring is hurt isn't growing back at the same rate as I don't know. I read something and it was confusing, and it didn't sound good.
It does not sound good at all.
Yeah.
Like he's got some sort of
I
genetic
know
over here.
hamstring is just not healing at the proper rate. And I don't know.
Especially for a guy who's like a burner and needs to use his hamstrings to run.
Sure. I'll just draft Jermaine Burton. Why not?
There you go.
Kincaid number one in receptions for tight ends this year, so I do really like Kincaid. This wouldn't shock me. This wouldn't completely surprise me, but Laporta, McBride, Kelsey, Andrews, there's some steep competition for sure up there. But this wouldn't surprise me, Vincent. Wicks is the alpha. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of people who are big fans of Dattavion Wicks as well. So Justin Shorter on the Bills, great sleeper monster. All right, let me get caught up here. Christian Watson and Zeke, late round monsters. Let's go, Zeke.
Yeah, right.
What are the Cowboys doing, man?
No, terrible.
Cats, take this back. Swift was atrocious on the lines. I watched every game. We don't talk about DeAndre Swift like that ever. Okay. First season, double digits every game he played in, except for 3. Pure fantasy, right? Second season, double digits every game he played in, except for 3. No, 4. I'm sorry. And third season, double digits every game he played in, except for 5. But the bigger issue is
how many games he playing? Yeah, how many games he playing?
You got to go through and circle how many games he actually missed. And then last year was on a fine pace until the Eagles were literally only giving Jalen Hurts the ball to the 10-yard line. So take it back, Cats. Tommy, I sniped you. I didn't even mean to. JSC, what's going on, man? All right, let me get caught up here. Okay, let's take a look at some teams. Taylor, what's up, my dude? So went kind of aggressive at wide receiver to start, early quarterback, late round running back, late round tight end. So we got Lamar Jackson, fine there, Schultz and Freiermuth. Love both those guys, where they're going. Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, Khalil Shakir, and Jalen Polk. I mean, she'll be just fine at wide receiver, and even in a double flex format with these guys. Then mid-round running back, right? Kind of hit that dead zone. Pollard, Najee Harris, Trey Benson, Brian Robinson. I could actually see this team working out. I might prefer like DJ Moore, Michael Pittman over Adams, but at the beginning of the third, I still don't hate Adams. And other than that, I mean, obviously, you know what you're getting at running back here. Could be some issues there potentially, but I think for this strategy, this is a good group of running backs to have coming out of this draft. So starting Lamar and Schultz, Pollard and Harris, let's say, then literally starting Hill, Collins, flexing Adams, flexing Flowers. So good players on the bench. Yeah, I'm okay with this team, man. Looks good to me. All right, Spence, what's up, Spenny? What we do tonight? We got Caleb Williams and T-Law. I think I saw in the chat that you didn't mean to draft Caleb Williams. I'm not sure if that's true, if I saw that or not. But I mean, if you're gonna take a swing on Caleb Williams, I do think it's smart to take a second quarterback, whether it's a Tua or T-Law or Goff or Herbert or whoever. So um, the fantasy implications are there for Caleb Williams. I just think taking a veteran is smart, which is what you did. Ken Kidd in the fifth. We talked about him tonight. No problem with that. Running back, we got Pacheco, Aaron Jones, Javante, Gus the Bus, and Marshawn Lloyd. I want to call him Marquise Lloyd. I knew that was wrong. So running backs look fine. We got Amon-Ra, Lave, Neighbors, Ladd, and Romeo Dobbs. So wide receivers look fine too, man. 2 rookies sprinkled in here. All right, we're starting whichever quarterback you want here. Then Kincaid, Pacheco, and Aaron Jones. I like that. Good value on Aaron Jones, I think, in the 6th. Then starting Amon-Ra, Chris Olave. Then your 2 flexes are kind of like up in the air a bit here. Maybe Javante and Romeo Dobbs, maybe Gus the Bus, and then those 2 rookie wide receivers. Maybe they take a little bit of time to get going. Maybe they don't, but you've got options there. So team looks fine to me, Spence. Pete, pure fantasy evaluation. How do you feel about Aaron Jones?
I don't know. I think they like Michael Chandler a lot as backup, so he could be splitting touches. Now, Aaron Jones catch the ball out of the backfield. Maybe we incorporate some more running back passes. There's holes. There's holes in that offense when they run the ball. It's just you got to hit them, and I think Jones will be I think that's really good value. He's going to be getting the red zone. I bet you they run the ball a lot in the red zone this year. They don't have to throw the ball every time they get down to the goal line. They can try and grind them in. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's like one of those 15 carries, 63 yards, 2 touchdown. You get a lot of those touchdown games from him.
Sure. Yeah, I think he's worth it where he's going, right?
If he stays healthy, like he's got to stay healthy. That's a big thing with him because we know last year how painful it was.
Yeah. I mean, was it last year, the year where he balled out week 1? Oh gosh, I just lost everything. And then was hurt right after that.
It was whatever it was. Is you caught him right before he came back. That's all I remember.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get. I don't know what's sleeper's been a little weird tonight. It must be doing like maintenance or something. Hold on, I can fix this.
They're getting ready for the season. They're working out the kinks in May.
I mean, probably smart. Wait. Okay, here we go. Jeez. All right, where were we? Penny Feather at the 1-3. Now, actually, I really want to answer my question about Aaron Jones. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't click on player.
Don't do it.
Someone let me know if last year was the year that he got hurt in week 1. I'm like almost positive at this point it was. Okay, sorry guys.
I lost it too. You can't click up players.
Yeah, it's super weird, but oh well. We'll survive. There we go. All right, we're back. All right, Penny Feather at 1.3. Jalen Hurts, T-Hawk. Probably need a second tight end. Other than that, you are just okay. But I don't know. There are some reports that T-Hawk might be back earlier than expected. Kamara, Connor, Eckler, Kendre Miller, J.K. Dobbins. In it with 2 dart throws, but Miller and Dobbins, where he got them fine. I like Eckler in the 8th. Why not? Connor, you know what you're going to get. If he does get hurt, Trey Benson could completely take away that backfield, but Connor's still fine where he's going. Kamara's fine in the 4th. Lamb, Diggs, Moore, absolutely love that start. Love Worthy in the 7th. JSN, a good value in the 9th. And honestly, don't really like him, but Jerry Jeudy, a good value in the 12th too. So starting Hurts and hopefully T-Hawk. Starting Kamara and Connor, Lamb, Diggs, DJ Moore in the flex, and then you got other options here in the flex, whether it's Eckler, JSN, Judy, whoever it may be. So, team looks solid to me. All right, here's the update on Christian Watson. One hamstring had 20% less muscle than the other, but he's gotten it to an 8% difference now. Okay. That sounds better than whatever I said. So maybe don't listen to me. All right, Michael, what's up, my guy? Good to have you tonight. Hope you're doing great. We got J-Lo at quarterback, Ingram and Kittle. Nice little tight end room. A-Chain Henry Cook is beautiful, actually. And they got Jalen Wright as well. So a lot of upside at running back. Jamar Chase, Christian Kirk, Hollywood, Deontay, Troy Franklin, and Rashid Shaheed. I really like this team, actually. I mean, usually Mike drafts well and drafts guys that I like. So, but yeah, I think this is actually a very good team. So starting Jordan Love and Ingram, Henry and Cook, Henry and A-Chain, however you want to look at that. Then Chase and Kirk, Hollywood Brown. Then you can flex one of these running backs, or you could end up with Deontay Johnson right there in the flex as well. You could flex Kittle. So then kind of some dart throw guys here at the end, but one of them is pretty much a handcuff to A-Chain or handcuff to Mostart, however you want to look at it. Then Troy Franklin, Rashid Shaheed. 2 late round guys I like a lot. So this is a great team, actually. Yeah. It's my favorite team so far. All right, Andrea, how are you? Good to have you tonight. We got Stroud at QB. You know we love that. Pitts in the 8th round. I'm okay with that. JT, Joe Mixon, Blake Corum, and Antonio Gibson. Wide receiver, we got A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, McLaurin, Watson, Lockett Myers, and Quentin Johnston. Okay. Interesting team here. So we're starting Stroud and Pitts, Taylor and Mixon, A.J. Brown and Kupp. And you're probably flexing McLaurin and flexing Watson, right? So the bench, not my favorite, but also guys who could also at the same time present like pretty good value. So I think the core roster is really solid here. Big question is Christian Watson's health, I guess. Just been a topic tonight. Tommy, what'd you do tonight? Good to have you, bro. Hope you're doing great. We got my homies and my guy Jaden Daniels. Let's go. Laporta in the 3rd. Bijan, Ramondre Stevenson, a big question mark for me, but he could end up being a good value where he's at right now. Jalen Warren and Chase Brown, Drake London, DK Metcalf, Keon Coleman, Devonta Wicks, Gabe Davis. Interesting team here. So starting Mahomes and Laporta, Bijan and Stevenson. Starting London and Metcalf. And the question for this team with 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends is who are you flexing? Like, is it Coleman? You're going to trust him right off the bat. Is it Warren? Is he getting enough touches? Is it Chase Brown? Is he getting enough touches? Does Wicks pop off? Does he not pop off? Does Gabe Davis fill in right away as a wide receiver 2 or not for Jacksonville? You know, not including Evan Ingram. So some questions at the flex here, but core roster looks good to me, Tommy. And usually those questions at the flex get figured out in the first couple weeks. Let's see. Love Najee in a contract year, losing weight, Arthur Smith's bad head coach, but good offensive coordinator. I know it's going to be so hard to accept that Arthur Smith is just the offensive coordinator, not the head coach. We're all strained from last year. He said 26 was a dinosaur, Jones 29. How are you going to say he's good value? To be fair, I said Aaron Jones was good value.
Aaron Jones also a starting running back. Dave Montgomery not a starting running back.
That's true.
There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
Second year, high upside young running back on the Lions. So Josh Jacobs going to be a workhorse in Green Bay. I think
Probably.
So. Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, when you look at the offense, they like to run the ball a lot. But they do have some other names on this roster as well. You know, I do like Marshawn Lloyd out of USC, and A.J. Dillon is still creeping around, whatever that means. But I think Jacobs gets a workhorse role for sure. Christian Kirk will be a top 12 guy when the middle season comes around. I mean, he usually is as long as he stays healthy. So he's the best wide receiver ever, basically. It's my guy. Tommy, didn't feel like my normal mock. You'll get back into it, man. I mean, the important thing is you're going out and getting guys that you believe in. So I think if you get those last couple rounds, I don't want to say more polished out, but I don't know. My only question with your team is some of the flex players, but you'll get it figured out. All right, let's look at Pete's team.
Awful.
Burrow.
Don't like it. Hate my
Don't like
team.
it. Pete hates his team. Burrow and Tua time. I like the quarterback room.
Yeah, I like the quarterback's about one of the few things I do like. I like but starting running back.
Yeah, Mandrews is fine, right?
Yeah.
C-Mac and Jacobs. I think we'd establish that we like both those guys. Singletary and Jarvis. I mean, Singletary is the RB1 in the Giants right now. Charb's a good handcuff. Evans, Allen, Ridley, Rome Odunze, Mike Williams, Josh Downs. So, I mean, I like all your wide receivers.
Yeah, I guess it's like it's okay.
But
Like if I just can't get hurt at running back, this team is very fragile.
Yeah, and then the question is like, because you're starting Burrow and Andrews or Tua and Andrews, then C-Mac Jacobs, Mike Evans and Allen, and you're probably flexing Calvin Ridley, right? So then, but then it's like, what do we really see out of Calvin Ridley this year? And then it's like with Roman Dunze, it's like you said earlier, it's like one of these Chicago Bears wide receivers is going to work out. How long does that take for Rome? A lot of other options in front of him. Is it right away? Is it a couple games? Is it end of the year? Who knows? Mike Williams has an opportunity in front of him, but he's also probably going to be hurt like half the year.
He's good. He got hurt last year. It's every other, it's every other year with him. Him and Keenan Allen. So Keenan Allen's maybe the one I'm more worried about.
Yeah, I mean Allen could, and I mean Evans is kind of old, right? Although he's such a good year last year. And Josh Downs, I think, is a great pick in the 12th round. But once again, there are other options on that team, and then it's like, what does that offense look like? We don't exactly know because Richardson was only healthy for like 4 games. So,
two.
But no, I don't. Yeah, whatever it was. I don't hate this team by any stretch. So
I do.
I think your biggest question just be like polishing out the flex, and yeah, you can't really get hurt at running back. So
yeah.
Let's see. Let's roast my squad. Yeah. All right, I got Purdy. I'm okay with Purdy. Give me a late round quarterback. I got an auto pick with Brock Bowers tonight, so went with 2 tight ends. Took Cole Kmet as well. I mean, I don't have a lot of upside at quarterback or tight end, but I also didn't mean to draft Brock Bowers, so it is what it is. I'll take it. Running back, we got Kyron, Rashad White, DeAndre Swift, and Raheem Mostert. I mean, I will take this personally at this point in the offseason. Coming out of my draft with 4 running backs, I'd be happy with these guys. Puka, Tank Dell, Rashee Rice, J-Mo, Cortland Sutton, and Jermaine Burton at wide receiver. So I personally really like this wide receiver room, but there's a lot of risk here as well. Like Tank Dell, competition for targets, hurt at times last year, but the upside's there. Rashee Rice could miss half the year, could miss 4 games. Whatever. There's risk involved, right? When he does play, I think he'll be perfectly fine. But once again, we have 2 new wide receivers on that offense at the same time. J-Mo, a guy that I like, but at the same time, risk because I'm going off of the end of year stretch last year where he started to get involved and look good. And now Josh Reynolds is gone. So I think he'll be the number 2 guy. Is he actually going to be? Cortland Sutton, we don't talk about badly.
We like Cortland. We like Cortland Sutton.
That's nothing bad to say. Cortland Sutton's my safest draft pick other than Puka tonight. So Jermaine Burton is like just an upside rookie who I think is in a good situation. And T. Higgins is currently on the roster. We'll see if that changes. But Jermaine Burton is a guy in redraft I'll take a shot on late and just kind of see what happens. So I'll be starting Purdy and one of the 2 tight ends, Kyron and Rashad White, Puka, Tank Dell, let's say Cortland Sutton and DeAndre Swift. So Rashee Rice probably on my bench. We'll see what happens with J-Mo. and Mostert probably on the bench too to start. But I'm okay with this team. So interesting squad tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So there's your mock draft, Memorial Day weekend mock draft. We will be back next weekend. We'll have some content coming out throughout the week for you guys. And yeah, just stay posted on Discord. If you guys don't have or have not joined the Discord, that link is in the description down below. And it's completely free to join, but that's just the best place to get updates for the channel as well as mock draft invites. So yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram as well. That link is also down below. We are also putting out content on Instagram. And other than that, thank you guys for mock drafting tonight and hanging out and talking fantasy. I know we had a couple new faces in the mock tonight, so thank you guys. Pete, I'll let you sign off, and then we'll get on out of here.
All right, it was good to see everybody. Yeah, we're hammering out our schedule. We're almost there. Shorts coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday. Be there or be square. Yeah, it's a good time again. Streams probably at the week Fridays, Saturday, Sundays. We're figuring that out. But yeah, almost June. That means it's almost July, and then it's almost August, and that means it's football season.
Let's go. All right, guys, everyone have a safe Memorial Day. Enjoy it, and we'll be back soon. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. We will talk to y'all soon. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, yes, odd here on the catch. And peace.